So, what I want to talk about today is a pretty simple concept, but basically, when I'm helping patients with their first steps in healing, I am. It is very, very essential that we start to create awareness of our body. So, a lot of people are stuck in chronic states of survival mode, whether they're totally mobilized and feeling a lot of stress and uh, anxiety and tension, or whether they've given up and they're just like they don't have the energy and they just can't, right? So in polyvagal theory and nervous system theory, we understand what happens to our nervous system when we are in different stress states. And when we're starting the healing process with this, we need to gain awareness, right? Gain awareness of what's going on in our bodies. And then we need to start to honor what is going on in our body as well and what our body's needs are. A lot of patients come to me with symptoms that are like, I don't know why my body is doing this. And that's because their relationship with their body is really not one of paying attention. And, even if you're somebody who's doing yoga and meditating or movement and you think that you do pay attention to your body, I want to give you this tip because this is something that I've noticed as a trend, and it's something nobody's talking about. So many, many patients, and I will admit that I do this myself, but many people that I've talked to in the last couple of weeks, once this came to my attention, I started asking people. And it is amazing how many of y'all do not go to the bathroom when you have the urge to go to the bathroom, do not drink water when you're thirsty, do not stretch, stand up, take breaks, whatever it is. You push down your biological needs and intuitions and suppress signals from your body all day long, right? I think this is probably something we learned as kids in school. Honestly, I have a kid in first going to public school for the first time. And it's really interesting. Um, just waiting until there's a break to run around, waiting till the appropriate time to get up and use the bathroom, waiting until the appropriate time to get a drink of water or a snack, right? But we now, as adults, don't even give ourselves breaks, scheduled breaks into our day. So many of you do not drink water. So many of us do not go to the bathroom when we need to go to the bathroom. And this is so interesting to me because, and don't eat when you're hungry, right? Um, so these are small ways in which we are showing our body that we don't care what it's saying to us, right? We are ignoring the signals. So let me tell you a story about myself personally. I used to struggle from chronic gastrointestinal issues. I would get really stopped up and constipated. And when I went to a PT about this, it was really helpful. But one of the things was that, like she was talking about neurologically, my sensitivity has gone down. I've been so used to just ignoring that sensation from my body that now it has to be, really full in order for me to even have the urge to need to use the bathroom. So, what we don't realize is when we ignore signals from our body, our sensitivity levels can change. And this is happening every time that you ignore and don't listen to your body. So it's not just about doing one yoga session or one meditation practice in the morning where you're checking in with your body. I love that. And I do recommend that to patients as a starting point when they're building awareness. But it's about the little things all day long. The ideal is that we can get to a place where we are intuitive, that we are connected to our body, that we are listening to our body and our body's feeling heard. This is when we build self-trust. This is how we build a great relationship with our body. This is how we build self-love. And it starts by honoring those basic physiological needs. Another point that I wanted to make is, what do you think is happening in your nervous system when you are stifling and not allowing your basic needs being met, right? Do you think that that feels more like a survival state or more like a calm, safe, connected state? It's pretty obvious to me, right? So when we deprive ourselves of these things, um, then we are kind of signaling to our body that those things aren't available. That can signal scarcity, and that can signal that perpetuation of the sense that we're in a survival mode. So I don't know if that makes a ton of sense to you, but if we could take one small step this week, it would be to just start paying attention to those really basic sensations. I mean, I bet a lot of you don't even know what it feels like when you feel hungry or feel thirsty or feel like you need a nap or to take a rest because you haven't allowed yourself to listen to those signals in a really long time. I know some of you are in careers where you can't just go whenever you want to, but that's okay. At least notice and acknowledge, and then make sure that when you do get a break, you take a break. Another thing I want to um, have you think about and just experiment with is what would happen if you did take a break. What would happen if you said, "I need some water. I'm gonna go grab a sip of water really quickly," or, "Oh, I need to use the restroom, so I'm just gonna go for I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Excuse me for a moment." I mean, we have like laws in the US that protect your right to use the bathroom and drink water and take breaks and like have snacks, right? So these are things that you're allowed to do. You're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to see to your needs. And everybody gets that. If you met up with a friend and were like, "Oh, excuse me, I just have to use the bathroom really quick," and you're delayed by 1 minute, um, everybody gets that because you know that you're going to be more present, more honored, more comfortable once you've taken care of yourself. Another perspective, since a lot of you that watch my channel and follow me are parents, right? I mean, it's so interesting. You know what it looks like when your kid has to pee and they're just not going, and you're like, please go to the bathroom. Please use the potty. Please go try. Please at least attempt, right? Because we're trying to teach them to pay attention to when they need to go to the bathroom and to honor that, right? But then we don't do it. It's so interesting to me. So I'm yarning on. I'll end this now, but I just wanted to put those out there. And your task for the week, if you choose to accept it, is to honor your urges and go in a reasonable amount of time. Go within 5 minutes. Get some water if you feel thirsty. Get a little snack if you feel hungry. Um, take a little rest if you're feeling tired. Get some fresh air. And then just reflect on how that feels in your nervous system to honor yourself in that way. All right. For those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Evelyn. I'm a chiropractor who takes care of people's nervous systems and helps with inside out healing at Eudaimonia Chiropractic, which is my practice in El Granado, California. And if you have questions or like this video, go ahead and share it and subscribe because I'm going to be hoping to be more regular with my content. Okay. Take care. Bye.